The cry in the dark. The night was heavy on the ruined alien world. The human explorer, Captain Elias, walked slowly across the broken stones. His scanner made a soft sound, searching for any signs of life. Most of the cities here were silent now, empty shells of what they once had been. Elias was not supposed to be here alone, but when he received a faint distress signal, he followed it, hoping to find survivors. His boots pressed into the dust, each step echoing in the wide, dead silence. The air smelled of rust and smoke, and every shadow felt alive. Then he heard it. A cry, sharp and broken. It was not the wind. It was the voice of a child. Elias froze, his heart racing. For a long moment, he thought his mind was playing tricks, but the sound came again, louder this time. "Please save my sister," the voice cried. "She won't stop shaking." The words pierced through the darkness. Elias turned his light toward the ruins. His hand rested on his sidearm, but he kept walking carefully. The cry grew louder, desperate, filled with fear and tears. From behind a broken wall, a small alien child stumbled into view. The child's skin was pale blue, his large eyes shining with wet tears. He looked weak, clothes torn, his tiny hands shaking. Elias dropped to one knee, lowering his weapon. "It's all right," Elias said softly. "I won't hurt you." The child ran to him, pulling at his arm. "Please hurry, my sister is dying," he shouted. His voice cracked as if it had carried fear for days. Elias followed quickly. His boots kicked loose stones as he ran after the boy. Inside the ruins, in the corner of a collapsed building, another figure lay on the ground. It was the sister. Her body shook violently, her skin glowing with strange blue light that ran through her veins. Elias knelt beside her. His hands hovered uncertainly over her trembling frame. She looked young, maybe 12 years old. Her eyes were closed tight. Her lips whispered soft sounds in her alien tongue. Her body jerked as if electricity ran through her. The little brother fell to his knees, clutching her hand. "She won't stop shaking. Please help her. You're human. You can fix things, right?" Elias's chest tightened. He thought of his own sister long ago, back on Earth. He remembered when she had fallen ill, how helpless he had felt. He could not ignore the boy's plea. "Tell me what happened," Elias asked, his voice steady. But gentle, the boy shook his head quickly. "It came from the stars, the sickness, people in my village. They started to shake. Then they disappeared, turned into ash. Everyone ran, everyone hid. But it found us. It touched her, and now she won't stop." Elias looked at the girl again. The glowing veins spread slowly under her skin. A soft humming sound filled the air, almost mechanical. This was no normal illness. Something else was behind it, something dangerous. The air grew colder. Elias noticed shadows moving in the corners of the ruins. At first he thought it was smoke, but then he saw shapes forming. Tall, thin, with long arms and bright red eyes. They whispered in a voice that was not human, a language made of static and metal. The boy clung to Elias. "They are coming. They want her. Please, don't let them take her." Elias drew his weapon. The child's fear burned in his chest. The girl shook harder, her glowing veins shining like fire beneath her skin. The shadows stepped closer, surrounding them. Elias's scanner beeped wildly. The signal it gave off was strange. Not life, not death, but something in between. It showed the girl's body was changing, rewriting itself. Elias realized with dread that the disease might not be a disease at all. The ruins trembled under his feet. The red eyes moved nearer. The whispers grew louder. Elias aimed his weapon, standing between the children and the shadows. He had come here searching for survivors. Now he had found 2 lives hanging by a thread. And something far more terrifying moving closer. The girl let out a scream. Her body arched as light exploded from her veins. The red eyes flinched in the dark. The boy cried out, holding her tighter. "Save her!" he begged. Elias's finger pressed against the trigger. He knew he had to fight. He knew he had to protect them. The shadows closed in and the ruins shook again. Something vast was waking beneath the ground, and in that moment, Elias understood one thing. The real nightmare had only just begun. The ruins were quiet again after the attack. The red eyes had faded into the dark, but Captain Elias knew they would return. He stood with his weapon ready, breathing hard, his eyes fixed on the trembling girl lying on the stone floor. The boy knelt beside his sister, tears rolling down his blue cheeks. "Please, please don't let her die," he whispered. His small hands tried to hold her still, but her body kept shaking as if fire burned under her skin. Elias looked closer. His scanner flickered in his hand, showing strange readings. The veins of the girl glowed brighter now, humming with an energy that felt wrong, not natural. Elias had seen many plagues across the galaxy, but this was something different. "What is happening to her?" Elias asked, his voice calm, though he already feared the answer. The boy lowered his head, his voice trembling. "It is the silent disease," he said. "It came from the sky, from the black ships. First one villager shook, then another, then many. They begged for help, but no cure worked, and then one morning, they were gone. Only ashes on the ground where they slept." Elias felt a chill run through his spine, a sickness that turned living beings into nothing. He looked at the boy, his voice soft. "How long has she been shaking?" "2 days, the boy whispered. "But she is strong, stronger than the others. She is fighting it." He gripped his sister's hand tighter. "She cannot die. She promised to protect me, and now I protect her." Elias's chest tightened. He thought again of his own sister on Earth, fragile but brave. He had promised long ago never to let anyone suffer alone if he could help. That promise burned in him now, stronger than fear. The girl let out a low moan. Her body arched, the glow spreading across her chest. The humming sound grew louder, like a machine waking. Elias placed his hand near her pulse. It was fast, too fast, almost inhuman. "This is not only sickness," Elias muttered. "This is something else." The boy's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" Before Elias could answer, the ruins groaned. A cold wind swept through the cracks, carrying with it the sound of whispers again. The shadows had not left. They were watching, waiting. Elias lifted the boy onto his feet. "We cannot stay here. They will return for her, and if they take her, she will be lost. But where do we go?" the boy asked, his voice breaking. "There is no one left, no safe place, only the silent disease," Elias thought quickly. His ship was not far. If he could get the children there, he could use the medical bay, maybe slow the disease, maybe understand it. It was a small hope, but hope was all they had. "Come with me," Elias said firmly. "I will not leave your sister. We fight together." The boy nodded, his tears falling fast. He lifted his sister's head carefully as Elias carried her in his arms. Her small body felt lighter than it should, almost hollow. The glow beneath her skin pulsed against his chest like a heartbeat that was not hers. They moved through the ruins, every step echoing too loud. The night sky above was broken with red streaks, faint signs of ships far in orbit. Elias could almost feel their eyes on him. As they walked, the boy spoke softly. "My people believed the silent disease was a punishment. We thought we had angered the stars. But when the black ships came, I knew it was not punishment. It was a weapon." Elias tightened his grip. A weapon disguised as sickness, a way to erase a whole race without firing a single shot. Cold, efficient, cruel. He had seen war, but this was something darker. The girl stirred in his arms, her eyes flickered open for a moment. They glowed faintly with the same light as her veins. She looked at Elias, and though her lips barely moved, he heard a whisper escape. "Run." Then she fell silent again, shaking harder. Elias's jaw clenched. If she was warning him, then time was shorter than he thought. The ground suddenly vibrated under his boots. A low rumble spread across the ruins. Dust fell from the broken walls. The boy gasped. "They are coming." From the shadows, the red eyes returned, dozens this time, watching from every corner. The whispers grew louder, turning into a metallic chant that filled the night. The shadows moved in unison, closing in, like hunters surrounding prey. Elias set the girl down gently against a wall. He lifted his weapon, standing in front of both children. "Stay behind me," he ordered. His voice was steel. The boy held his sister close, whispering prayers in his own tongue. The shadows stepped closer, their shapes clearer now. They were not only smoke, they had bodies, thin and twisted, half machine, half ghost. Their long fingers sparked with red energy, and their voices tore through the air like broken signals. One of them pointed. At the girl, its voice screeched like static. The vessel must be taken. Elias felt rage burn through him. He raised his weapon and fired. Light cut through the dark. The first shadow dissolved, but 10 more moved in its place. The girl screamed again. Her body shook violently. The glow spread across her entire form. Her scream rose higher until the ruins themselves trembled. Elias turned his head and saw the impossible. The shadows hesitated, pulling back as if afraid. The boy's eyes widened. She is fighting them. The girl's body glowed brighter than fire. She opened her mouth, and for one heartbeat, her voice was clear. It was not her alien tongue, it was words Elias understood. "They are inside me," she whispered. Then she collapsed again, her body limp. The glow faded. The shadows howled in rage, closing in. Elias grabbed her and pulled the boy close. He knew now the silent disease was no disease at all. It was an invasion, and the girl was the battlefield. The ruins shook under the echo of the girl's scream. Elias carried her in his arms while the boy clung to his side. The shadows retreated for a moment, their red eyes glowing in the dark. They had not given up. They were watching, waiting. Elias knew what hunters looked like, and these were hunters. They moved with patience, not rushing. They wanted him to panic, they wanted him to run, and he understood one thing. Once prey starts running, the hunt begins. He moved quickly through the broken halls of the ruined city. His boots splashed through black water pooling between cracked stones. The boy's small breaths came sharp and fast. The girl shook violently in Elias's arms, her glow pulsing with each shiver. The scanner on his wrist beeped again. The signal from the girl was stronger now, too strong. The readings were unstable. Life signs mixing with machine codes. Elias had never seen such confusion. It was as if she was being rewritten into something new. The boy noticed his worried look. "You can save her, right? You are human. Humans fix everything." His wide eyes begged for an answer. Elias wanted to tell him yes, but the truth burned in his chest. He had no cure, no answer, yet he could not let the boy fall into despair. "I will try," Elias said, firmly. "I will fight until my last breath." The boy nodded, tears on his cheeks, and whispered to his sister, "Hold on. We are not alone anymore." Behind them, the ruins groaned. The whispers returned, sharper this time. Elias turned his head. Red eyes glowed in the shadows. Many, far more than before, they were spreading out. Surrounding him from every side, Elias pressed himself against a wall, setting the girl gently down. He raised his rifle, steady. His finger hovered near the trigger. His training told him one thing. If he fought here, he would lose. Too many, too close. The girl moaned softly. Her voice cracked with pain. Her veins burned brighter. She whispered something strange, not alien, not human. A code, broken syllables mixed with static. The scanner lit up as if receiving a message. Elias frowned. The sickness was not only inside her, it was broadcasting. It was calling to them. The predators hunted her not because she was weak, but because she was becoming something they wanted. The red-eyed shadows stepped closer. Elias fired once. The blast burned through one shape and it dissolved like smoke. But the others didn't flinch. They moved together, silent, patient. Elias grabbed the children and ran. His heart pounded as his boots slammed against the stone. He turned corners, ducked through fallen walls. He knew if he slowed, the predators would close in. The boy cried, "They are following us." "I know," Elias said, breathing hard. "That is what predators do." They reached a broken plaza, moonlight spilling through cracks in the roof above. Elias looked around. No good cover, no place. To hide, the shadows spread out, red eyes shining like blood. Elias dropped to one knee, setting the girl down again. He lifted his rifle, calm, steady. He was not prey, not tonight. If they wanted a hunt, he would fight like a hunter. The first shadow rushed forward, its body stretching unnaturally. Elias fired. A second came from the side. Elias turned and shot again. Sparks filled the air as the ruined walls shook from the blasts, but more came, crawling from the cracks, climbing down the broken towers. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Elias gritted his teeth. Sweat ran down his face. He could not fight forever. The girl screamed again. Her glow burst outward like a wave. The predators froze, their red eyes flickering. Some stepped back, hissing. The boy gasped. She is hurting them. Elias looked at her in shock. Her body twisted, her small hands clawing at the ground. The glow inside her was not random. It pulsed in rhythm, almost like a weapon charging. The predators regrouped. Their voices screamed in a metallic chant. The vessel must be taken, the vessel must be claimed. Elias understood then. They were not only hunting, they were protecting something. They feared her, but they also needed her. He grabbed the boy's arm. We cannot let them take her. Do you hear me? No matter what, she must not fall into their hands. The boy nodded, his eyes fierce despite the tears. I will protect her, I swear it. The ground rumbled, dust fell from the ceiling. From the far end of the plaza, a larger shadow stepped forward. Its body was not smoke. It was metal and flesh, twisted together, its arms long, its face covered with red lights. It was not like the others. This one was the predator leader. Elias raised his weapon. His heart pounded like war drums. He had fought machines before, but nothing like this. The leader's voice cut through the air, broken, but powerful. The change is not complete. Deliver the vessel, and you may live. Elias spat to the side. Not a chance. The leader moved forward, slow, confident. The smaller predators circled like wolves, waiting for the command to strike. The girl stirred on the ground. Her eyes flickered open. For the first time, Elias saw them glowing bright gold. She whispered something in a clear voice, words that chilled him. They are inside me. They want to use me. The leader stretched out its hand. A red beam of light reached toward her. The boy screamed, "No!" Elias pulled the trigger. The blast hit the leader square in the chest. It staggered but did not fall. The other predators rushed in. The hunt had begun. The air smelled of burning metal. The predator leader stood tall among the shadows. It's red, lights flashing across the plaza. Elias held his rifle steady, sweat running down his face. The boy clung to his sister, who lay shaking on the stone floor, her glow brighter than ever. The predators circled, whispering in their broken static voices. The vessel must awaken. Elias's heart pounded. He could not fight them all, but he could not let them take the girl. His finger tightened on the trigger, ready for the next attack. But then the girl's body jerked upward, and her eyes opened wide. They glowed, not blue, not red, but gold. For a moment the predators froze, as if the sight of that color was something they feared. The boy gasped, "Sister, you are awake?" Her voice came soft, but it carried through the ruins like a bell. "I hear them," she whispered. "They are inside me, speaking, pulling, but I am still here." Elias knelt beside her, his face calm but sharp. "Listen to me," he said. "What is happening to you? What are they doing?" She looked at him, tears glowing on her cheeks. "It is the shaking. That is what my people called it. We thought it was sickness. We thought it killed. But it does not kill. It changes," the boy's voice cracked. "Changes into what?" The girl shook her head slowly. "Into them. Into the hunters. Those who do not fight become shadows. Empty. Lost. Only those who resist survive. But even then, we are not the same." Elias felt the weight of her words sink into his chest. The silent disease was no plague. It was a weapon to erase one race and replace it with another, to turn victims into predators. The predator leader stepped forward, its voice cutting through like broken iron. "The vessel speaks truth. She is chosen. She will complete the change. You cannot stop it, human." The boy cried out. "No, she is not yours." He wrapped his arms around her, holding her tight. "She is my sister. She is mine. She will not be your monster." The girl's body shook harder. Her glow spread across the plaza. The predators hissed and drew back from the light. But they did not leave. They waited, patient as if time itself was their weapon. Elias placed his hand on the boy's shoulder. We must move. We cannot let them finish whatever they started. There may still be a way to stop this. The girl gripped Elias's sleeve weakly, her voice trembled. I can feel it. Something in me. Something not mine. If I give in, I will be gone. Please, if that happens, promise me you will protect him. Her golden eyes turned toward her brother, full of love and fear. The boy shook his head violently. No, you will not leave me, you promised. You said we would survive together. Elias's chest burned. He had faced many choices in war, but this was different. A child asking him to save her, even if saving meant ending her. His voice was low, firm. I promise to protect him, but I am not giving up on you. The girl's breathing grew sharp. Her glow turned violent, flickering like lightning. Elias lifted her into his arms again. We run, he said, and the boy followed. They pushed through the broken plaza, the predators hissing in the shadows. Elias fired behind him, beams of light cutting the darkness. The leader's voice roared, You cannot run, the vessel belongs to us. But Elias kept moving, his boots hammered against the stones as they reached a narrow tunnel beneath the ruins. The whispers followed, crawling along the walls like smoke. Inside the tunnel, the glow from the girl lit the way. Her body felt lighter, but her pulse beat faster than ever. Elias set her down against the stone and checked his scanner. The readings were worse. Her human-like signals fading, replaced by something mechanical. The boy knelt close, whispering, Please hold on, please. Elias looked into her glowing eyes. You are strong. You are fighting them. That means there is still hope. She breathed heavily, her words slow. Hope. Yes. But the truth is inside me. I can feel their memory. I can see what they are. Her voice shifted lower, filled with strange echoes. They were not always hunters, they were made. They were once alive like us, long ago. But they gave their bodies to the machine. Now they cannot stop. They must spread. They must change others. That is all they are now. Elias listened, his jaw clenched. He realized she was not only fighting the change, she was also absorbing their knowledge. That was why they called her the vessel. She carried their code, their history, their weakness. The boy looked at Elias with wide eyes. Can she stop them? Can she end this? Elias did not answer at once, his mind raced. If she held their code, then maybe she was the key to breaking it. But she was also breaking herself in the process. The girl leaned forward, her voice almost gone. I am afraid. If I lose, I will not be me anymore. I will be their weapon, and then you must end me. The boy sobbed. No! He shook his head, clutching her hand. You will not be a weapon. You are my sister. You are mine. Elias placed his hand over both of theirs. Then we fight, all of us, together. The tunnel shook violently. Cracks split open. The predators were forcing their way in. Red eyes appeared in the dark. Dozens of them. The leader's voice echoed again. The vessel will rise, and the human will fall. Elias raised his weapon. The boy held his sister close, and the girl whispered one last warning, her golden eyes burning bright. They are coming to finish it, and this time they will not stop. The tunnel shook like thunder. Dust rained down from the ceiling. Red eyes glowed in the cracks as the predators forced their way inside. The boy screamed and hugged his sister. Elias raised his rifle, ready to fight until the last second, but before he could fire, the girl's body lit with a sudden golden flare. The glow blinded the predators, making them hiss and pull back. Her eyes opened wide, burning with light, and her voice came strong, though layered with echoes. I see them, she whispered. I see their truth. Elias knelt beside her quickly. What do you see? Tell me. The boy shook her arm gently. Sister, stay with me. Her body trembled, but her voice grew sharper. They were not born. They were made. Long ago, their people built machines to fight their wars. The machines grew, hungered, consumed. The people lost. Now nothing remains but these shadows. Machines wearing the last memories of flesh. Elias felt a cold weight in his chest. He had seen empires fall to their own weapons, but this was worse. This was a warning written in living code. The predators hissed in unison, their static voices tearing the air. Silence the vessel. Silence her memory. The leader stepped forward, tall, twisted, its arms like blades of metal and bone. She holds what must not be known, kill the human, claim the vessel. Elias stood in front of the children, his voice like iron. You are afraid of her truth. That means it can destroy you. The girl shivered, gripping her brother's hand. I can feel their weakness. It is hidden inside their code. If I can finish the change, I can break them. But if I fail, I become them. The boy's eyes filled with tears. No, you cannot. You are my sister. You are strong, stronger than them. Elias's mind raced. A weapon was here, not made of steel or fire, but of one girl caught between two worlds. He had to believe she could win. He had to help her hold on to herself. The predators lunged forward. Elias fired. Light cut through the dark. Two fell, but more replaced them. The tunnel filled with red sparks and hissing voices. The girl screamed, her glow bursting outward. The shockwave slammed the predators against the walls, tearing them apart. For a heartbeat, silence. Elias looked at her. Her small chest rose and fell in sharp breaths. Her eyes glowed brighter than before, but her face looked pale, weak. You hurt them, Elias said softly. You can fight them. She shook, her head slowly. Not for long. They are inside me, growing, pulling. I am their war, their battlefield. The boy clutched her tighter. No, you are my sister. You are mine. The leader rose again, its body broken but not destroyed. Its red lights burned. Hotter. She cannot resist. She is ours. She will carry our code to the stars. Elias stepped forward, his voice hard. Not while I breathe. The predator tilted its head, mocking. You are human, fragile, small. You cannot win. Elias's jaw tightened. You are wrong. The leader lunged. Elias fired again. Sparks filled the air. The boy screamed. The girl glowed. For a moment it felt like the tunnel itself would collapse. Then the girl cried out. Her voice was not only hers, it carried thousands of broken voices, machine and human. They are endless, but they are bound. They must follow their code. They cannot change. That is their weakness. Elias's eyes widened. His voice cut through. And humans? We can change. That is why we win. The predators roared, their voices full of static rage. The girl's glow erupted again. Golden waves tearing through the shadows. Dozens dissolved like smoke. But the effort drained her. She collapsed into her brother's arms, trembling. The boy looked up at Elias, terrified. She is dying. Elias knelt, placing his hand on her shoulder. No, she is fighting, and we will fight with her. The scanner on his wrist beeped, rapidly, showing strange signals. Her body was more machine than before, but still alive, still resisting. The leader, half broken but still standing, snarled, The vessel cannot hold forever. When she falls, she will rise as one of us. True. Boy screamed, She will never be one of you. Elias lifted his rifle, stepping between them again. If she is the key, then we will guard her until the end. His eyes locked on the leader. And if she falls, then humanity will finish what she started, the leader hissed. It's broken, voice sharp. Then you choose war. Elias's face was stone. I always do. The predators surged forward again, filling the tunnel with red light. The girl stirred weakly, her golden eyes flickering. Elias, she whispered. If I fail, if I become them, and me, the boy screamed. No! But Elias placed his hand gently on her head. You are stronger than you know. Hold on. You are not alone. The ground cracked under the force of the fight. Shadows howled. The tunnel walls began to fall. Part and in the chaos, Elias understood the truth. This was no sickness, no curse. This was a war of code and will. And one fragile girl, shaking and glowing, was humanity's only chance. The tunnel shook as if the world itself was breaking. The predators swarmed forward, their red eyes burning, their static voices screaming for the vessel. Elias fired again. And again, his rifle burning hot. Each shot cut through shadow and metal. but more replaced them, endless. The boy clung to his sister, shielding her with his small body. His tears mixed with dust as he cried, "Please, stop hurting her. Please leave us alone." But the predators did not stop. They were machines of hunger. They only obeyed their code. The girl's golden glow pulsed brighter with every attack. Her body trembled, her breath sharp and shallow. Elias saw her struggle. Half of her wanted to give up, half of her wanted to fight. She was no longer only a child. She was the battlefield itself. The predator leader stepped through the smoke. Its body cracked but still strong. Its voice shook the stone walls. "She is ours. She cannot resist. The code is complete." Elias stood in its path, his chest rising and falling with hard breaths. "You don't understand. She is not yours. She is stronger than you." The leader tilted its twisted head, mocking. "Humans always believe in strength they do not have. That is why you always break." Elias clenched his jaw. He remembered the wars of Earth, the screams of soldiers who stood even when they knew they could not win. He remembered holding his own sister's hand when she was sick, whispering hope into her ears. Humans broke, yes, but they always rose again. The predators lunged as one. Elias fired. His shots burned holes through the first wave, but the second wave struck him. He fell hard, pain surging through his arm. His rifle skidded across the floor. The boy screamed, "Elias!" Elias pushed himself up, blood running down his forehead. His voice shook but did not break. "Stay behind me." The girl's golden eyes flickered open again, her voice weak. "They are too many." Elias shook his head firmly. "No, listen, to me you are not alone. You are with us, with me, with your brother. You are not their vessel. You are your own." The boy clutched her hand, his small voice fierce. "You are my sister, you are not theirs, you are mine." The girl screamed suddenly. Her glow exploded outward. The predators hissed as golden light tore through their bodies. Dozens dissolved. In the blast, the tunnel shook, cracks spreading across the ceiling. The leader roared, staggering but not falling. Its broken body sparked with red energy. It pointed at the girl with its blade-like arm. "She cannot last. She will burn herself." "Away!" Elias grabbed his fallen rifle, his eyes blazing. "Better to burn free than live as your slave." The girl's glow grew wilder, spilling across the stone like fire. Her small body shook violently. The boy cried, holding her tighter. "Please stop. You'll hurt yourself." Her golden eyes turned to him, full of love and pain. "If I stop, they win. If I burn, at least you live." The boy's tears fell faster. "No, I need you. Don't leave me." Elias knelt beside them, placing one steady hand on her shoulder. "Listen, you are stronger than you think. But strength is not only in fighting, it is in choosing who you are. Do you hear me? You choose, not them." Her glow steadied for a moment as if his words anchored her. She whispered, "I choose to be me." The predators surged again. Elias fired until his rifle smoked. The boy held his sister, whispering prayers. And then, the girl screamed one last time. Her glow burst like a star. The blast was unlike anything Elias had ever seen. A golden wave swept down the tunnel, tearing through the predators. Their red eyes vanished. Their voices dissolved into silence. The leader staggered, its body crumbling. It snarled, "You cannot destroy us. We are endless. We are code." The girl's golden eyes blazed brighter. Her voice thundered, "And I am more than code. I am alive." The wave struck the leader. Its red lights flickered wildly before shattering. Its body collapsed into ash and steel, silent forever. The tunnel fell into sudden stillness. Smoke rose from broken stone. The glow around the girl faded, leaving her small and pale. She collapsed into her brother's arms. The boy shook her gently, sobbing, "Wake up, please wake up." Elias dropped to one knee, checking her pulse, weak but there. His chest loosened with relief. "She's alive. She fought them, and she won." The boy cried into her shoulder, whispering, "I knew you could. I knew." Elias leaned back against the wall, his breaths heavy. His rifle lay cracked beside him. He stared into the dark where the predators had stood, gone for now. But he knew this was not the end. The girl stirred faintly, her voice soft. It is not over. They will come again, stronger. They cannot stop. They never stop. Elias met her glowing eyes, his voice steady. Then neither. Will we? The tunnel groaned, rocks falling from the ceiling. Elias grabbed the children, lifting the girl into his arms. We have to leave now. The boy nodded quickly, holding onto Elias's sleeve. Together they moved through the broken passage, the echoes of the battle still ringing in their ears, and, as they climbed toward the faint light above, Elias thought of what had just happened. A human and alien child, and his sister had stood against something endless, and they had not broken, but deep in his heart, he knew. The last stand was not the end of the war, it was only the beginning. The tunnel walls cracked behind them as Elias carried the girl into the open night. The boy held his sister's hand, refusing to let go. Dust clung to their faces, but above them the stars shone, silent and endless. Elias laid the girl gently on the ground. Her glow was faint now, only small sparks beneath her skin. Her golden eyes opened slowly, weak but alive. The boy sobbed with relief and hugged her tight. You did it. You fought them. You're still you, she smiled faintly, her voice soft. I am still me. For now. Elias looked at the ruins behind them. Shadows still stirred in the distance. Red glimmers moved like embers far away. They were not gone. Not forever. But they had been beaten here tonight. The girl's hand trembled as she touched Elias's sleeve. Why? She whispered. Why did you save us? We are not your kind, we are nothing to you. Elias looked down at her, his face tired but steady. Because once, someone saved my sister. When she was sick, I could not do it alone. Someone gave me hope, and I will never forget that. Now it is my turn to give hope. Her golden eyes filled with tears. Hope. Is that stronger than code? Elias nodded. Code cannot change, but hope can. Hope can grow. It can fight back even when everything says you should fall. The boy squeezed her hand tighter, his voice fierce. See, sister, you are not alone. You have me, and now you have him too. The girl breathed deeply, her glow steadied. Softer, no longer wild. She whispered, maybe hope is enough. The ruins groaned in the distance. A low hum spread across the ground. Elias stood quickly, looking toward the horizon. On the edge of the sky, red lights descended, more ships, more predators. The boy gasped. They are coming back. Elias gripped his rifle, though it was cracked and weak. His jaw tightened. He knew he could not fight an army with one broken weapon, but he also knew one truth. Humans did not stop. The girl pushed herself up slowly, shaking but determined. I still carry their code. I still hear their voices, but I also carry their weakness. I can hurt them again. Elias knelt, his voice firm but gentle. Not alone. If you burn yourself, you'll be lost. You need us. You need to remember who you are. She closed her eyes for a moment, then nodded. I am my brother's sister. I am not their vessel. I am not their weapon. I am me. Her glow spread again, not violent this time, but steady like the rising sun. The boy smiled through his tears. Yes, you are my sister. You are ours. The red lights in the sky drew closer. Hundreds of predator machines falling toward the ruined world. Elias felt his heart pound. He looked at the children, one fragile, one glowing. He looked at his cracked rifle, and he looked at the stars. He whispered to himself, if humanity must fall, we fall standing. The boy pulled at his sleeve. Will we die? Elias shook his head slowly. Not today, not while I still breathe. The girl's golden eyes locked on his. And not while I still shine. The ground trembled as the predator ships neared. But then, the girl raised her hands. Her glow burst into the night sky. A signal. A beacon, not of fear but of defiance. The predators in the distance slowed, their red lights flickering uncertainly. Elias's scanner beeped wildly, showing strange signals. The girl was not only resisting, she was rewriting. Her code fighting theirs, line against line, hope against hunger. The leader's broken voice echoed from the ships. "Vessel, you cannot win, you will fall." But the girl stood tall, though shaking. Her small voice thundered, "I am not your vessel. I am my brother's hope. I am human hope." The boy squeezed her hand. Elias raised his weapon, and together, they faced the sky. The predators screamed, their voices filled with static rage. The red light swarmed downward, but before they could strike, the girl unleashed one final burst. Golden fire swept across the sky, colliding with the red storm. The heavens burned with light. For a moment, silence. Then the red lights shattered. One by one, the ships fell, breaking apart before they ever touched the ground. The predators' voices faded into nothing. The night grew quiet again. The girl collapsed, weak but alive. Elias caught her in his arms, his voice soft. "You did it, you saved us," the boy cried with joy, hugging them both. "We are free." Elias looked at the stars, his chest heavy but proud. He knew this victory was not the end. The predators would return, they always would. But now there was a spark, a weapon stronger than code, stronger than machines, hope, and as long as even one human answered the cry for help, there would always be a chance. The boy whispered, "Thank you, Elias." The girl's golden eyes flickered open one last time that night. "Thank you." "Human?" Elias smiled faintly, his voice steady. "No, thank you. You reminded me what we fight for." The stars shone brighter, the night no longer felt empty, and though the war was far from over, a new story had begun. A story written not by machines but by human hands, a human had answered, and that made all the difference.